In this video, I'll introduce you to dungeon event listeners. An event listener lets you hook into various events during the dungeon creation process and the destruction process. So to create a dungeon event listener, you need to hook into subclass the dungeon event listener under the dungeon architect namespace, and this gives you access to 3 virtual functions. The dungeon actor would call the on post dungeon layout build function after the layout has been built. So this is the build phase going from left to right. So after the layout is built, it would invoke this function on post dungeon layout build, and then it would invoke the on post dungeon build function after the whole dungeon is built. So after everything completes, this function will be called. You also have on dungeon destroyed, which would be called when you destroy a dungeon. So this is useful if you'd like to have some functionality, if you'd like to insert something or modify the model, for example, or add something to the marker pool. You could hook into this function and add your own functionality. To register your event listener with the dungeon object, simply drag and drop your script onto the dungeon actor. So we already have an example of this. The landscape transformer, like you've seen previously, is also a dungeon listener. So if I go here, you see that it inherits from dungeon event listener, and it overrides the on post dungeon layout build function. So after the layout has been built, right after the layout has been built, it modifies the terrain for you, so that the theming engine can place stuff on top of the terrain and so on. So I override this and I build the terrain. So to register it, just drop in your dungeon event listener script onto the to the game object, and the dungeon actor would invoke these functions for you.